Hello and thank you so much for joining us on yet another exciting edition of Today with Zamtel. I am Kalumba Chikonde. As usual, Patience Chisanga is taking us to another really interesting Zambian town where you learn a lot of good things about that particular town. Stay with us. And coming up on the engineering corner, today we learn about network performance and optimization. So be sure to join us on that very educative segment. Otherwise, coming up, we take a break. A word from our sponsors, Zamtel, and on the other side, Patience is ready for us. Stay here.
We are always there. Anytime you need a friend, by your side till the very end. We will hold you close. These caring arms will not let go. We just want you to know we're always here for you. Don't you doubt our care is true, it's true. Say so long to the pain you've been going through. We'll always stick with you. We will always hear your voice. So well done for making the intelligent choice.
Zamtel, live life today.
Thank you so much, Kalumba. It's another exciting edition of Today with Zamtel. In the next couple of weeks, Zamtel will take us around our country and we shall be touring the northern part of our beautiful country, Zambia. Our first stop is Kasama, which is the provincial capital of the northern province. It is located in the central southern African plateau at an elevation of 1,400 meters above sea level. Its population is about 238,000 people. The population of Kasama grew considerably in the 1970s and 1980s after construction of the Tazara Railway through the city and the tarring of the roads Mpika-Kasama through Tumbala. Kasama sits in the middle of four major roads: the Kasama-Mpika Road, the Kasama-Mbala Road, the Kasama-Luwingu Road, and the Kasama-Mungwi Road, all of which are tarred roads. Kasama has over the years continued to develop and has relatively few modern facilities. Among them are different stores, supermarkets, and the Zambia Revenue Authority building. About 90 kilometers away from Kasama town on the Mpika-Kasama Road is the Chambery Bridge, which runs across the Chambery River. Now, 2 kilometers away from this river is the Lettow-Vorbeck Memorial site, or the Chambery National Monument, which it was named after the Chambery River as it is located north of the river. The significance of this river to the memorial is that it was by the banks of this river when General Vorbeck got a message of the ending of the First World War. At that time, him and his troops were trying to cross the Chambery River. What an amazing sight! This cannon was built in 1890. This is the place where General Lettow-Vorbeck got a message from the English Prime Minister informing him of the cessation of the hostilities in this part of Africa. When you visit this memorial, you will get to see this cannon, and I must say it's really amazing. And I just love how this place has been conserved. There are 2 plaques that are at this site. Let's get to see what is written on these 2 plaques. The first plaque reads, "On this spot at 7:30 a.m. on Thursday, 14th November 1918, General von Lettow-Vorbeck, commanding the German forces in East Africa, heard from Mr. Hector Crode, then District Commissioner Kasama, of the signing of the armistice by the German government, which provided for the unconditional evacuation of all German forces from East Africa." The second plaque reads, "Ilibwe ili liatulanga kuti epo bana shishe Jeremani lintuba ingile chalo pankondo ya 1914 to 1918.
twapela umuchinshi kuli bonse abashipa abalwile mu nkondo iyi. More Africans than Europeans died during the First World War. The Lettow-Vorbeck Memorial is a reminder of those men that died during that war. It is an honor to those men that fought tirelessly during that time.
Kasama is in the heartland of the Bemba, who trace their origins to the Luba and Lunda states of the Upper Congo Basin in what became Katanga province in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The Bemba history is a major historical phenomenon in the development of chieftainship in a large and culturally homogeneous region of Central Africa. The Chitimukulu is the king of the Bemba people. Our tour of Kasama unveils one of the traditions of the Bemba, one long-standing tradition of embalming, a story that has barely been told. The history of embalming by the Bemba people can be traced back to 1485. The place where we are is in Muchilingwa. The hut that you sing in the background is known as Kwitasha locally. This is the place where the body of Chandamukulu, the mother of the chiefs, is being prepared for her final resting place. The Muchilingwas, who are the people in charge, Kwitasha, took us in and we got to see how they preserve the body. They use cowpeas and cassava to preserve the body. That is before they take it to its final resting place. It is an amazing experience, a very interesting tradition that has stood the test of time.
Yadi nenga batuletele mfumu te muliro iyo ilanda lyali nelo tubalira pokwitira ku mubiri wa mfumu filafine mumona nangu fyo wakira lyelanda lya mwetikira efyo lyakwata nalyo kutinta menshi ku mubiri wa mfumu pamono obunga bwatute filafine mumona bwabanga gulu efyo bwakwata na maka ya kutinta mubiri wa mfumu kumika te muliro tubonfya yo efyo tubonfya efyo fine. Lelo mulutambi lwesu imfumu yena tukanga fyo kulingana n'emyeshi 3 nishi fyonse ifikabilwa pakutile mfumu yelala nishi fyonse nabakumanisha nokumanisha naye ili lyonse kula alonda fye ukutila bakapekanya bakwisasenda ebo batiro tunyerere.
The place where we are is known as Pachiponde. It was also called Kwitasha. This place is where the late Chief Mwamba Mutale Lusankula's body was actually embalmed. What we have in front of us is ivory, which is a symbol of royalty. Prehistoric art is a visual narrative of the history of our culture. It demonstrates a bulk of evidence that exists, showing us the similarities dating back 10,000 years ago. Today, in our tour of Kasama, we visit one of the densest and most well-preserved prehistoric art in our country and in Africa. Mwela Rock Art National Monument, about 5 kilometers away from town. Our tour guides will take us through some of these paintings that have got significant stories to tell.
This cave, it was discovered in 1947 by Mrs. Miller, Mrs. Huggins Miller, who used to be a mistress at Kasama Girls, the so-called Kasama Girls today. By then it was called Miller. she came across this cave when she was moving in the bush, and she found some artifacts like this, which was a pot shed, a clay pot, which they were using. If you look at this clay pot, you could even see that this clay pot was not put on fire. So it means this clay pot was just used to store food. So when she went back to UK on her vacation leave, she engaged Desmond de Klerk. Desmond de Klerk came with her along here. He's the one who did an excavation, and they started recording the paintings. And the paintings which have been recorded at this site, they're about 1,000 plus, 1,200 plus paintings have been recorded. We are now on a rock panel, which was also done by the same Twa people. So as we know, during their leisure time, they used to do the paintings. They were using this as one way of communicating. As we are seeing here, they were just trying to show the way they were conducting their hunting activities. If you look at this, this is a bush pig. Eh? This is a bush pig. These are hunter-gatherers. These are stickmen, hunter-gatherers. So they used to make a one formation when they are performing their hunting.
So this is a man. The head is slowly fading. The head is slowly fading away. This is the body. These are the legs. These are the hands. This is a tortoise or a tortoise. This is a woman. She's pregnant. She's holding a lizard. In our Zambian culture, these two animals, they symbolize reproduction in women, because the lizard and the tortoise, they produce a lot of eggs. These are fertility symbols. This is a breast and a nipple. This is a half concentric circle of a woman. A young girl who's ready for marriage, who's interested in getting married to one of the men, would be initiated by old women, and they'll be teaching her about marriage.
This is where boys were brought to be taught reproduction. As we are seeing, this painting represents a male reproductive organ. The whole idea here is this painting is pointing in the tunnel where we are just coming from. The tunnel represents the woman reproductive organ. It shows how a person is born. So this is how a person is born from the womb. That's how a person comes out from the womb.
We have another cave where they could sleep, like the one we passed through, the first one, which we saw. This cave has got an inlet, as you can see. This is the inlet, where you are seeing light by the far end there. That's the outlet.
Okay, talking of the size of the cave, it's about 1.7 meters from where I'm standing. But as you go further down, it gets really, really small. I'm gonna come here for my honeymoon. We're gonna camp here with my future husband. I need help to come out of here, I think. Okay, I'm okay. Wow. This is one experience one would never give back. If you take a tour of Mwela Rock Art, you will get to see some of these caves where the late Stone Age people used to stay. I must say, it's an amazing experience. You definitely must see this place. Mwela Rock Art is definitely a true example and a true definition of how our culture has been influenced by these paintings. Mwela Rock Art is a definition of rock art, an example of a type of rock art that is no longer practiced in our society today, but a practice that should be conserved for the next years, a practice that has been conserved over 10,000 years. Our tour of Mwela Rock Art National Monument will end here, but we understand that it serves a significance to the history of humanity. From Kasama, we drove on the M3 westbound for about 24 kilometers. Then we took the junction to the D20 road. After about 11 kilometers, we followed the signpost written Chisanga-Mayer National Monument. Over a distance of 300 meters, the three successive foes provide a good view to tourists. Our next stop is probably one of the most exciting tours of Kasama. About 30 kilometers away from the main town, we are visiting Chishimba Falls National Monument. Now, something interesting is that there are about 3 waterfalls on the river where we can find the Chishimba waterfalls. There's the Mutumuna waterfalls and the Kyla Rapids. Today we get to see these 3 beautiful waterfalls that are located on the Luamba River. The Chishimba Falls is also known as the father. The Kyla Rapids are also known as the mother, and the Mutumuna Falls are known as the son. Let's get to hear this interesting story behind the waterfalls that we are visiting right here at Chishimba Falls National Monument.
These names came about as a result of ancestral worship of spirits. Mr. Shimba died after a domestic quarrel. He had to commit suicide at the main waterfalls. So that's how he died. And then a long time ago, people started worshiping the spirit of Mr. Shimba. So when the wife Kyla also came, she had that love for the husband that she couldn't, withstand the death of the husband. She also died at the rapids there. That's how the rapids were named after her, Kyla Rapids. Then we have Mutumuna. Mutumuna had engaged one of Mr. Shimba's daughters. When Mr. Shimba was running to this waterfall to claim his life, he was followed by some of his daughters and sons, trying to retrieve him too, In the process, accidentally, one of the daughters who was engaged to Mutumuna also was carried into the water. So that is how that lady died. Now the husband, when he came, because he had also such love for the wife, he died also at the Mutumuna Falls. That is how these names came about. Otherwise, this is just a place which attracts a lot of tourists. More than 8,500 tourists local tourists do tour this place per year. And foreign tourists, more than 3,600 tourists come and see these waterfalls. The waterfall goes about 50 meters deep, and when we have a lot of water, it's about 70 meters in width. It's a very spectacular waterfalls.
The view of the Kyla Rapids is amazing. It's a beautiful sight. You wouldn't want to miss out on this chance. And as you visit Chishimba Waterfalls National Monument, the Kyla Rapids are one of the attractions that you will get to see. And I must say, it's splendid. It's a beautiful sight. I would call this a waterfall, but, well, our tour guide says these are rapids. And there's a very interesting story related to these rapids. But one thing is for sure, it's a beautiful place. It's amazingly beautiful. The trees, the vegetation around the area is just one of a kind. A true example of the beauty that Kasama has to offer. We are at this cave, and this is the said cave where people would come and worship Chishimba's spirit, because in those days, they did not believe in God, but they did believe in some supernatural powers. So the said cave is this one that you are seeing. It's really interesting. The way the cave is structured is definitely a wonder to look at. It's interesting. It's a beautiful sight and scary at the same time.
Chilubula Mission, the second oldest mission in Zambia, was started in the 1890s by Father Joseph Dupont, who became the first bishop of Zambia and Malawi. It is located about 27 kilometers from Kasama.
Chilubula Mission, the name Chilubula means liberated. The first missionaries appeared in Chilubula on the 6th January 1899, led by Joseph Dupont, a Frenchman nicknamed Moto Moto. We have a girls' secondary school, which was in that time, it was up to college, teachers training college. This is St. Teresa Secondary School, just across the stream there. Then we have the school, the basic school, running from grade 1 up to 9 for this time. Then we have the hospital, St. Fidelis Rural Health Center. Then we have other development.
The remains of Father Dupont, though first buried in Tunisia, were later collected to be buried at Chilubula Church in Kasama district. The site was well chosen and possesses excellent designs that have given it a prestigious emerge and reputation worldwide. The church was also used as a fortress in the First World War by the helpless people running away from the fiery combat between the British and the German troops.
As we toured Chilubula Mission, we visited St. Teresa Secondary School, which is one of the major important components of Chilubula Mission. And Mr. Nsofu, who is one of the teachers here, is going to explain the excitement.
All of this excitement that you are seeing at St. Teresa is that of we are the best. We went for ball games at Kasama Girls Secondary School. We had ball games in different disciplines, and all our teams have been selected to go to inter-district in Mbala.
Well, Kalumba, what an exciting wrap to our tour of Kasama. We have learned a lot from this town, which is the provincial capital of the Northern Province. We have learned that this town has got so many beautiful stories to tell that need to be passed on from one generation to the next. Talking of the Lettow-Vorbeck Memorial site, the Mwela rock art paintings, which are a national monument, not forgetting the beautiful waterfalls that we visited at Chishimba National Monument. And of course, Chilubula Mission, one of the oddest missions in Zambia, a mission that is significant to the history of the Catholic Church. We have visited this mission and we've learned a lot about what the mission is currently doing. And I must mention the girls at St. Teresa Secondary School are just awesome and they are so excited. But this is where our tour of Kasama will end. Back to you, Kalumba, for more of what Zamtel has to offer. Keep watching Today with Zamtel, because next week we shall be taking you to another town in the northern part of Zambia.
There you have it. Today's story has been about the beautiful town of Kasama in the Northern Province. Thank you very much to Patience Chisanga. Now, coming up next is the Engineering Corner. And today, the Chief Executive Officer at Zamtel, Dr. Mpanga Mwanakatwe, tells us about network performance and optimization. Let's watch this.
Good evening, viewers, and a very warm welcome to the Engineering Corner segment of the show. And this week we'll be looking at radio network performance and optimization with a senior network performance and optimization engineer, Mr. Malichi. So here we're going to take a very practical approach and spend the day with him as he investigates one of the problems that we have on the network, a particular problem at a particular cell site, and how he goes about resolving that problem in a methodical manner.
What we did earlier on was to go around, we drove around these areas in mention, and we observed whether or not what the customers are saying is true. And sure enough, as we drove from Addis Ababa to Mankishi, we did experience a code drop. So we've collected the data using our test tool that we have at Zamtel, and now we are at the office and we've come to analyze to see why or what could be causing the cause to be dropping. So roughly this is a screenshot, the data that we collected as we were driving. So after collecting the data, we have to analyze it. So this is how it looks like. We drove from here, Zamtel House, we went around Addis Ababa, Manchinchi, and we came back. And we had a code drop here. This symbol here is a symbol for a core drop. So now what we're going to do is to analyze. So it is telling me that the neighboring cells to Rhodes-Park Sector 1 is Sanjay Crescent and Rhodes-Park Sector 3. Now this is where the core dropped. Why is this? One thing I know for sure is that the received quality is not good. So in this case, the first solution that we've come up, what we've seen from here is that Rhodes-Park Sector 1 doesn't have neighbors for Sanjay. So, which verifies, which actually aligns with what we saw, that it did not handshake to here. So what I need to do is to send the information of the neighbors that have been missing, that need to be configured, to the OMC engineers. So based on the information you have, I'm sure you've got a plan. Currently verify for me how many neighbors Rhodes-Park is supposed to have, because based on the database I have, it only has 2. It's missing neighbors for Sanjay Crescent and of course the other neighboring sites. Hi Paul, good news, I hope. Okay. Okay, so the configuration and the synchronization has been successful. Okay, okay. Thank you very much. I'll go to the field right now and I'll get back to you on the success, whether I can see anything different from there. So already from this window I can see that something has changed, because before in this window when we're driving here, I only had three cells appearing. There was Rhodes-Park Sector 2, there was Rhodes-Park Sector 3, and there was ZNBC Sector 3. But now I have all these cells appearing, meaning some neighbors have been configured. This was the spot we dropped the core, first drive test, and as you can see we are passing, and there's no dropped core. The RX quality is very good, it's green. The work has been successful. Been able to resolve the complaint, and can safely say that now customers are able to enjoy their network. So right now I'll just show you a screenshot of the difference between the first time we did the drive and the second time we did the drive. Here we have it. So you can see it's green everywhere. So by this plot and comparison to the other one, you can see that the reason why we had core drop, or why customers have been complaining of experiencing core drops, was because of missing neighbor relations between Rhodes-Park Sector 1 and the nearby site, Sanjay Crescent.
There you have it. That was the Engineering Corner on Today with Zamtel, with the Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Mpanga Manakatwe, in this episode looking at network performance and optimization. Be sure to join us for another informative, of course, segment of the Engineering Corner right here on Today with Zamtel. I'd like to say thank you so much to Patience Chisanga for taking us around Kasama in this episode, and thank you to my producer Kennedy Mambwe and the entire production crew. For Today with Zamtel, I am Kalumba Skonde. Be sure to join us next week at the same time when we take you to another exciting Zambian town near you. Remember to make that Zamtelligence choice by being on Zamtel. And guess what? Live life today. Bye-bye.